Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on today's Monday meetup. And today we'll be talking about preparing for travel to Canada. My name is Lateefah. I am an international student advisor at Lakehead University, and my job is to provide guidance and support to all international students. Today with me, I have Ling Chen, an international student assistant, and I also have Alexandra Rogers. So they'll be helping us with the Q&A function, and they would also be giving us an overview of what their life was like before coming to Canada and packing and how they transitioned into studying. Today we'll be covering preparation for travel to Canada, essentials to keep in mind for travel. I would also be sharing an EduCanada pre-departure guide. I will also be sharing with you what to expect in Thunder Bay. We'll also have our international student assistants share their experience. And at the end, we'll have an open Q&A for any questions you may have. Things to remember: if you like what you see, we'll be sending a link to the recording afterwards. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function to submit your questions to us. And don't forget to stay connected, to follow us on social media for updates about our future webinars, and also to get an insider view of what Lakehead University is like. So just dive right into it. Preparation for studying abroad. Preparing to study abroad can be very, very difficult, but it gets easy if you have a checklist, right? So what you're required to do first will be checking the visa requirements. What do you need to do to come to study at Lakehead? Have you started applying for your study permits, the acceptance letter? So checking what you need to be able to get here successfully. Check the weather. When are you planning on starting? Are you looking to commence in the fall, in the winter, in the summer? So you can have the appropriate outfits for when you arrive in the country. It's very important. I always advise making a checklist, like I started the webinar with, starting a checklist with what do I need? What do I need to make this journey as seamless as possible? Check the Government Canada website for items that are not allowed into the country, because there are some items that you can't travel across the border with. So it's important to check the border for those items. It's important to also build a budget, right? Coming to Canada as an international student, leaving your country. So it's important to have a budget on, housing. It's important to have a budget for feeding. It's important to also have a budget for tuition. Remember to sort out your accommodation before arrival, okay? So you have to check where you're going to be staying. Would you be staying at off campus or on campus? It's important to check that before arrival. Have a quarantine plan. As you all know, with COVID and all of the things that are happening right now, we all need to have a quarantine plan. Where would you be staying in 14 days? How would that look for you? It's important to have a quarantine plan before leaving the country. Also, familiarize yourself with Lakehead University website and academic calendar that has everything you need to know about studying abroad, coming to Lakehead, the courses you're required to complete for your program. It has the start and end date. So it's important that you familiarize yourself with Lakehead University website and the academic calendar. On the website, you also have access to booking an appointment with us. I will show you what the academic calendar is like. All students are recommended. It's very, very important that you familiarize yourself with the academic calendar. And lastly, ensure you're registered in all courses, right? And if you're having issues with registration, if you're not sure what courses you should be registering in for your program, please don't hesitate to reach out so we can guide you on that. Transitioning to a new country, to a new city can be very, very stressful as is already. So you want to make sure that, you have all of the things in place so you're not too overwhelmed when you arrive in the country. So this is what an overview of the academic calendar for those who have never heard the term academic calendar. So the academic calendar is an essential document for students, staff, and faculty alike, and it contains information about undergraduate and graduate programs and courses, important dates, including the academic schedule of dates, drop dates, last day to register for classes, tuition fee deadline. You have access to knowing who your graduate coordinator is for grad students. You have access to knowing who your chair or who your dean is. You also have access to knowing who your program academic advisor is. So if you have any specific questions regarding your programs, you know who your go-to person is. You can also find the admission requirements on the university academic calendar as well. You have access to the program regulations. You can also see medals and prizes, links to fees. So the academic calendar is a very, very important document that all students are required to go to. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen really quickly and just give you an overview of what the academic calendar looks like. So basically, this is what the overview of the Lakehead University academic calendar looks like. So for students who have just gotten admitted, like all of you that are starting off in the fall or looking to start off in the winter, this will be the academic calendar that you would be referencing. And it basically has, we'll just take, for example, let me try business. So for business, you can see everything here about the faculty. If you click, it tells you different things that the Faculty of Business Administration offers. And here, if you wanted to go into undergraduate programs, for example, if, for instance, you're in the Honors Bachelor of Commerce, you just click on that, and then it tells you the admission requirements, and it also tells you basically the courses you're required to take. So if you're in business, for example, it means for the fall winter term, you're required to be registered in all of these courses. And if you have any issues or you're unsure of some courses, if you're having any issues registering either of the courses listed, please feel free to reach out to us. And if you don't have the answers directly, we would refer you to the right person that has the answer. So this document is very, very important. And I really recommend that all of you take the time out to check it out and see what it's about. And if you're unsure of your courses, this is a place to go for you to get your questions answered. So back to the slides. So there's an overview of the academic calendar. And another thing that we have is a pre-departure guide. EduCanada, for those of you who do not know what EduCanada is, it's a Canadian government website, and they also have a pre-departure guide for international students who are planning to come abroad. So basically, what you need to know about Canada, about the weather, getting to know Canada more, working in Canada, the Canadian currency. I really recommend that you should all please check this out just to know what life in Canada would be like, knowing what to expect. I'll be putting the link for both the academic calendar as well as the pre-departure guide in the chat box, in the chat function, so all of you can have access to that. So I came up with a travel essentials of things that I believe are very, very important that you should have when you're traveling. If you're being approved to travel, you're required to have all required travel documents. I recommend making photocopies, your passport, visa, letter of acceptance, all the required travel document that you need to be able to commute to Canada successfully. It's important that you double check those things before you leave the home to the airport. If you have any prescription medication, it's important that you pack those. Obviously, with everything and COVID being what it is now, we all require masks. So ensure that you have masks before you leave your country. Ensure that you have local currency because you don't want to be stranded. It's important to have enough money on you, and putting into consideration that you would have to quarantine when you arrive. So you want to ensure that you have enough cash in you because you might not be able to, set up a bank immediately upon arrival. You would have to wait upon 14 days for that. So it's important that you have enough money to be able to get things done or pay for groceries, pay for essentials that you need, right? Another thing that's also important that you have with you is it travels as essential toiletries. I really, really recommended hand sanitizer, having wipes, things to keep you clean and good. Power adapters and converters. As we know, power adapters and converters vary depending on the country you're going. So I would say, check to see what the outlet for the stopover country that you'll be in, so you can charge your phones. Check to see what it's like in Canada as well, so you can have power adapters and converters that match whatever electronic gadgets you have. And next one is the on and off campus living essentials for what you would need when you arrive, right? Like essentials that if you're not able to leave your room or leave your quarantine spot, you want to ensure that you have this thing so you're comfortable in your living space. So it's important that, come with a bed sheet and pillowcase. You can have that packed, towels, toothbrush and toothpaste, bathing soap and wipes, water bottles, notebooks, journal, pens, pencil, a backpack, anything that you think that you would need for when you first arrive. putting into consideration that you'll be required to quarantine, please ensure you pack those so you're very comfortable when you arrive. So what to expect when you arrive in Thunder Bay or in Aurelia. So you'll be expected to quarantine for 14 days. For students that will be arriving in Canada, you'll be automatically enrolled in UHIP, and UHIP stands for the University Health Insurance Plan. So if you needed to go to the hospital or go to the clinic, you ensure that you have the health insurance plan. You'll also be required to order groceries and needed essentials to residents. So even if you're living on or off campus, we'll be providing you with various organizations that help with delivering groceries or essentials, and you can use those to have those things delivered to your house. Feel free to reach out for support and help if needed, although you'll be required to quarantine, but be rest assured that we're all here to support you. We're here for guidance. If you needed any help, we have the 24/7 emergency phone. Also on our website, you have access to booking an appointment with us. So we're always here to support. We're always here to guide you, but we just need you to please feel comfortable enough to reach out if you need help. Join the Lakehead University online community. As you all know, or as you all might know by now, we have a lot of virtual programs going on, and that's how you get to meet with new students, get to connect with other students. So I really, really recommend that you join our online community so you don't feel alone. We're always doing something virtually, so please seek and see what works for you and join us. Explore the city after quarantine, right? So although you'd be required to quarantine, but after the 14 days, just try to step out of your comfort zone, walk around. As long as you're taking preventive and safe measures, we encourage you to explore the city. And then you gradually start preparing for school to commence. What that will look like for online classes, some labs may be required to come in person, but all of those things will be sent to students. So you need to gradually start preparing for that to happen. Like I said before, there's lots of supports in place. So if there's anything you need, feel free to reach out. So before the open Q&A, I would like to let Angela talk about her experience and the things that she packed when she was looking to move to Canada. What are the things that you thought you needed, but when you arrived, you said that you didn't really need, or what are the things that you didn't really think you needed, but upon arrival, you realized that it was very essential? I'll pass it on to Angela.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela.
Hi, Angela.
If you hear the background noise, it's really loud in a car. Yeah, but no, we're in Thunder Bay last year. And with the essential travels, I would actually recommend to travel light because it's a long flight from where you are coming from. So I would suggest not to pack a lot of like heavy stuff, for example, towels, or heavy jackets for winter, and the boots. Because those things you can buy in Canada from my personal experience. And also winter can be really cold here, from -25 to -40 from time to time. So yeah, you might want to get those essential boots and also jackets when you get here and you see in person. Other things I wouldn't recommend to bring would be your kitchen utilities like pots, or your rice cookers, for example. You can get there in grocery store and also some other electronic stores as well. Things you might want to consider to bring. For example, you might want, when you are in the plane, it would be a long flight. So you want to relax on the plane and rest well. Other things, you might want to bring a book so you can read in the airport while waiting for transaction flight. And also bring maybe like a good headphone so you can listen to music as well. So on the slides, there's also very good tips. You might want to consider to quarantine for 14 days. That's by the regulation. And you can automatically enroll in the UHIP. What is UHIP? Is student insurance that to make sure that you can get covered when you get sick, get ill, and you go to the student health and wellness center to get yourself checked out. And also you can order groceries and needed essentials to residents if you live in residence. Of course, you can do that if you live off campus as well. So it's very handy. Yeah, for example, Instacart is the app you might want to download if you want to order groceries online and delivered to your door. You can also reach out to us for support and help if needed. We have wonderful student advisors, and we're so happy we are here to help you. And like Lateefah already mentioned, so you can actually advisors and find online create how you can start your journey. Also answers for the hot questions of the day.
Angela? I'm so sorry, I think we're having connection issues here.
Yes, explore the city after quarantine while taking preventive measures. Yeah. Hello? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Angela, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you better now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's just bad connection. Yeah, I probably didn't catch a lot of what I said, but basically I will just cover the essential things here. Okay, so are we moving to open question and answer now, or should we let Alexandra to share her experience?
Yeah, we'll let Alexandra share her experience as well with when she moved to Canada and what to expect.
Okay, sounds great.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit about my experience in Thunder Bay is I will really recommend to, yes, don't travel with a lot of clothes, since Thunder Bay, it's a really cold place, so maybe you would like to do some shopping around when you are in the city and when you are more used to the weather there. So don't bring a lot of shoes or sneakers, since it may rain a lot or it may be snowing. So not all types of shoes are suitable for this weather. So if you want to bring something, I would recommend to bring winter boots, but maybe just one pair, and also waterproof as well. And as Angela said, do not bring any kitchen appliances, like don't bring any cutlery or plates, because you can also ask at the international office to lend you a package. So every semester you can sign with us and we can give you a box full of those items as well. And about the winter jackets, try to don't bring a lot either. And you can do some shopping again of those items at Thunder Bay itself. We have a lot of shops around, so you can get the proper ones. And there we also offer a winter clothes for free. So every semester we offer different kind of boots or gloves or jackets and parkas for the students for free.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela and Alexandra, for sharing your experiences. I'm sorry about Angela's internet connection. I hope you're able to get a few things from her. And thank you, Alexandra, for sharing yours. So we do have some questions here that I would like to answer. One of the questions is there any website for online grocery shopping in Thunder Bay? Yes, there are lots. There are tons of websites with COVID and everything that's going on. There are tons of organizations that offer those online grocery services. And we'll be sharing those links with all of you upon arriving in Canada, upon arriving in Thunder Bay, just to ensure that you're well equipped with all the resources you need. So I got another question, not very relative, but it says, can first-year students get into on-campus apartments? Yes, first-year students can get into on-campus apartments. If you'd like to if you'd like to live on residence, you can go on your MyInfo account and you're able to complete the application form online for residency. So another question we got is the orientation for fall intake going to be online, and can students from 2021 intake attended online? Yes, so there will be, the fall intake orientation will be online September 4th. And of course, you're welcome to join the orientation if you'd like. Will university provide quarantine facility for off-campus students? So the university will be providing guidelines for students, but unfortunately, if you choose to live off campus, the university will not be responsible for how you take care of yourself off campus. But for those students who are living on campus, the university will be providing quarantine facility and ensuring that you're all staying safe. Another question I got was, when we reach Canada for the first 15 days, we have to quarantine, then how will we get our groceries? Like I stated earlier, there are a lot of online grocery services available. So we'll be sharing those links with all students and you'll be able to get your groceries delivered to your residence, no problem. It's very easy and very convenient. Even for me, that's not quarantining. Sometimes I choose to just have it delivered to my home so I don't have to be outside or be exposed to COVID, or just taking preventive measures. Is there an email to send questions regarding admissions? That's a very good question. Yes, there is. You can send an email to welcome@lakeheadu.ca and any questions you have regarding admission, or you can also send an email to internationaladmissions@lakeheadu.ca. Do students have discounts on the transport pass if available, and what transport is available in Canada? So there are various modes of transportation in Canada. In Thunder Bay specifically, we don't have trains, but we have buses. So for international students, your bus pass is automatically added to your tuition fee as long as you are registered at full-time studies, and all international students are required to be registered as full-time students. So that would be automatically added to your tuition fee and you'd have access to the bus pass for the whole academic year. So you don't have to pay every time you get on the bus. You just have to show your bus pass and your student's ID card and you'll be able to move around freely. For graduate students, if you have any questions about your transcripts, please send an email to gstudents@lakeheadu.ca and they'll be able to provide you assistance. For students looking to arrive, we always send the welcome package, and that always has all the details for quarantining, what you are required to do when you arrive. It also has a lot of guidelines, so please reference your welcome package for any questions you have in regards to arrival. Please feel free to send in your questions if you have any other questions for me. And if you have any questions about deferring your admission, please send an email to internationaladvisor@lakeheadu.ca, or you can send an email directly to internationaladmissions@lakeheadu.ca. Oh, we have a good question. What is the average temperature in Thunder Bay in winters? Alexandra, would you like to answer that?
Well, the average temperature will be -12, I will say. But one thing about Thunder Bay is it gets windy. So we have something that when it's winter, the temperature might be, let's say, -10, but with the wind chill, it will get to -20.
Right.
So that's why I want you guys to bring maybe one jacket, but when you're here, you need to get something for the wind chill as well for the winter.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's a very good point. When I first arrived in Canada, obviously, because I'm moving from Nigeria, I didn't have all the winter things that I needed, but I just needed to get a few things that would help me, help me transition successfully when I first arrived. But I had to go, to Walmart, I had to go to Sears to go grab like jackets that work very well for this weather. So I recommend that you definitely pack light. Don't pack too much because you'll be able to get a lot more essentials when you arrive here in Canada. So we got a question that says, what if we don't have any friends over there? Will there be a pickup service provided? So prior to the COVID, we always had a pickup service where we'll have a student assistant come help with student arrival. But with COVID and all that's happening, we'll still be able to provide airport pickup if needed, but just would have to still maintain the social distancing guidelines. And like I mentioned while I was giving the presentation about our online community, so if you wanted to make new friends, we really encourage you to please join our online community. We always have virtual programs going on. We have the peer mentor program. We have the conversation club. We have our amazing student assistants having like virtual coffee houses. We have different programmings going on, and we really encourage you to please explore our website, see what's going on, and please get involved. And besides what our department offers, the university also has different clubs that students are welcome to join. So please join those clubs, you know, make new friends, connect with people. And if you are having issues doing that, please feel free to reach out and I will definitely connect you with the right people. So the welcome package will be sent by our International Student Services Coordinator, and you'll be getting that shortly. As long as you've accepted your admissions offer and you're looking to start up in the fall term, you'll be receiving that. Without any of those, you would not be receiving the welcome package. Yes, so the residence has a meal option. So with the residents providing food during quarantine, depends on whether or not you have a meal plan with your residents, right? So if you have a meal plan, then be assured that you'll be provided with meals. But if you don't have a meal plan embedded with your residence plan, then you would have to get groceries delivered to your residents, or you'd have to buy food in restaurants. And if you're staying in a townhouse, it has a full kitchen, so you'd have access to cooking your own meals if that's what you'd prefer. I got a question that says, do I need to take any card related with UHIP from university after arrival, or my student card will be enough? So although you get automatically enrolled in UHIP, it will be sent to your email. So you will receive your UHIP card in your email, and then you'll be required to either print it out. I know some clinics accept the virtual UHIP, so you just show them on your phone, you give them the numbers, and that's okay by them. I got a question that says, as I am from India, so will I be able to find Indian spices in Thunder Bay? Yes, you'll be able to find lots of Indian and other spices in Thunder Bay. We have Superstore, we have Walmart, and they all have international aisles. We also have some amazing Indian restaurants in Thunder Bay as well. So I'm sure you'll be able to get some good spices when you arrive. I got a question that says, what is the welcome package? So the welcome package basically has everything you're required to know upon arrival for when you first arrive in Thunder Bay and the university, how you'll be picked up, you know, telling you the different hotels that are available. If you're not sure of your residence when you first arrive, if you're looking for quarantining, this has everything you need to know, like a guideline to when you arrive in Thunder Bay for the first time. That is what the welcome package is, and be expecting that in an email soon. Which social handles do you recommend so that we students can join, chat, and make friends to share accommodation arrival? Alexandra, would you want to answer that question on social handles that you recommend? And how would you recommend that students stay active during this time with our online programmings?
Well, we offer a lot of online programs through Lakehead University International. We have every Friday the virtual coffee house. And we also have other programs such as the Conversation Club every Monday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and every Wednesday from 5 to 6:30. We also have the other program called ISS Power Hour. This one is every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. So it's a nice way of staying connected with the students and also advisors. And you can learn about studying tips, health and wellness, or just have a talk with us and we can join together.
Can you put in the chat box our Facebook name and our Instagram name so they can have access to seeing what, you know, what programmings are on and how to connect with other students? because a lot of times we put students up on our Instagram page with things that they love to do. There might be a student that they might want to connect with, and they can send the students a message directly.
For sure, yeah. I really encourage you guys to follow our websites on Facebook and on Instagram as well. It's a nice way of staying connected with us and staying updated of every show we offer you.
Absolutely. Okay. Should a student bring a pan to cook because we cannot go out for the first 15 days? I wouldn't recommend traveling with a pan to cook, especially if I don't want your baggage to be too heavy. You can definitely get those things upon arrival. Remember, I mentioned that we have a list of services or places that provide, that deliver groceries to home. So you can always add on a box of pan or a pack of plates and all of those things to your order, and it will get delivered to your home. So if you want to travel light, you don't have to. You don't have to pack a pan. You can always buy it when you arrive. I got another question that says, is cutlery for apartments being provided? Unfortunately, with COVID and all of that, we don't provide cutleries for students. We require you to have yours, to buy your own cutlery. So, it's sanitized properly, it's clean, you have nothing to worry about in that regard. So we don't provide cutleries. We recommend and advise students to bring theirs for sanitary purposes. Are there any application for accommodation? Yes, so there are applications for accommodation for both on and off-campus residents. If you do choose the on-campus residents, you're able to find the application for that in your MyInfo account. But if you're choosing off-campus, we have various websites like Kijiji. We have Rent Panda, which is really, really great. So rent differs depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a 1-bedroom, right, it would differ on that regard. It may be about 500 and above or 600 and above. But if you're looking for more of a shared space, that could be cheaper as well. So yes, so it depends on what you're looking for. And yes, there are applications for on-campus. Please check on your MyInfo account, but for off-campus, it's totally up to you where you would like to check that. The next question I got is, hi, can we, offshore transcript Arab in Canada. So in regards to your official transcripts and things like that, admissions would have corresponded to you how you should be submitting that. So please check your email, check your application status to see how they would like you to have your transcript sent, okay? And if you have any questions or if you're still unsure, please feel free to send an email to internationaladvisor@lakehead.ca and we're happy to help. Can students who live off campus get bus service? Absolutely, yes, you can. Like I stated earlier, as long as you are enrolled full-time studies, it's automatically added to your tuition fee whether or not you're living on or off campus, and you'd have access to off-campus bus service, absolutely. What type of kitchen utensils should we carry with us? I wouldn't really recommend carrying too many kitchen utensils. I recommend that, to buy them upon arrival, because I know some utensils can come across as sharp objects. So I'll be very careful with the things that I carry with me as kitchen utensils. I recommend you buying them when you arrive.
And I will also add that you can do online shopping.
Absolutely.
Or grocery shopping once you come. So even if you cannot go out, you can still order it online.
Absolutely. That's the whole point. And we have a whole list. Alexandra was great enough to come up with a whole list of services that offer these deliveries. So rest assured that once you arrive and once you communicate with us, we'll be able to provide you that list.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure you get 2 weeks of free trials, so you are not charged for the service.
Right. So if I offer on campus, then will I go to dining hall to eat, or will food be given to the room? So if you opt for on campus, it depends, because not all on-campus residents have a meal plan added. So if you're going for a townhouse, meal plans are not necessarily added for townhouses. So you'd have to, opt into a meal plan if that's what you want. So your food may not be brought to your room. It depends on what the correspondence for residents will be on that. It may be that, you know, they split it up in routines where we have like 10 students come get food at a time, but it will be in a way that we're still maintaining social distancing for sure. Please feel free to send in your questions. Alexandra, I can turn it to you. When you first arrived in Thunder Bay, what were the things that you packed that you thought you needed before coming, but then when you arrived, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have brought this with me? Do you have any of those things?
I will say too many shirts
Okay.
and jackets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we get excited from coming to, you know, back home, and you want to bring your same outfits, but you got to understand that the weather in our country is not going to be the same as in Canada.
Exactly.
Yeah, so a lot of them will be unnecessarily for you to wear here.
Yeah.
Like, we have to have in mind that the jackets, maybe it's a winter jacket that works for back home, but is not the same for the weather here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and don't bring like your favorite shoes that may get ruined with the weather, with the slushy winter. Yeah.
So the important thing for anybody that's leaving their country to move abroad will be doing very, very extensive research, right? So regardless of the webinars that you hear, I would really recommend that you still do your own personal research in your own time, look at the things you have, and just plan accordingly. Very important.
Exactly. And if you're like a love reader, or you love reading books and stuff, you can bring your favorite book, but don't bring a lot of them. Like, I was thinking to also bring a collection of books. I don't know why, but you can either download a lot of PDFs offered online, or you can even rent some from the library at university as well.
Absolutely. Lots of books everywhere.
Yeah, and magazines.
Right. So I got a question that says, I will be joining Lakehead in winter 2021. So do I have to join peer mentor group now, or will it be available in winter too? So you should know that the peer mentor would also be available in the winter 2021. So you're welcome to join the peer mentor then, because the students joining the peer mentor group now are students who actively need it at this time. So if you wouldn't be joining to winter, I would recommend that you join during that time. Please, for any questions you have in regards to admission, please send an email to welcome@lakeheadu.ca or internationaladmissions@lakeheadu.ca, please. For students who will be living in the townhouse, receive a debitable card for meals at on-campus cafeterias, or just for students who have a meal plan. So there is this thing that we have that Lakehead has called the declining balance. So that can be added for when you want to get snacks in some places on campus. But if you have a meal plan added, it's already, you have to swipe your student card. But once you swipe your student card, it shows that you have a meal plan. So not necessarily a debitable card, it's already added to your student ID. So once you swipe it, it shows that you're eligible for a meal because you're already a part of the student plan, or the meal plan, sorry. Please, any questions you have in regards to admissions, please send an email to welcome@lakeheadu.ca or internationaladmissions@lakeheadu.ca. Please feel free to send in your questions. I just got a question that says, can you give the list of itinerary to pack also for our partner residents? This webinar is basically to give you a tip on what to pack. It's still basically the jurisdiction of you as an individual for what do you think you need, right? We don't want you to pack things that you don't need, is why we're giving you tips, but it's totally up to you on the things that you think you need for when you arrive in Canada. And in terms of apartments, when you arrive, like Alexandra mentioned, you'll be able to have these things delivered to your home. So if you needed pots, if you needed pans, if you needed plates, all of those things can be delivered to you. And like I stated, if you needed any help with any of these things, please send an email, call our emergency phone. We're only a call or an email away, and we'll be happy to help you. Without the study permits, can students start online classes? I'm sure you all might be aware about the Immigration Tuesdays. So that's tomorrow. So any questions you have about study permits, any questions you have about starting classes online without a study permit, please feel free to join the Immigration Tuesdays tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the immigration advisor will be able to answer those questions for you. Oh, what things are available at Campus Tech? Angela, would you want to answer that?
Hi, which question is it?
What things are available at the Campus Tech?
Campus Tech?
Yes.
What things are available at Campus Tech? Okay, I'm not super familiar with the Campus Tech, so can Alexandra help me with that question?
Have you been to the Campus Tech before?
Campus Tech, I think I have been there maybe a couple of times, maximum.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, the Campus Tech has computers. They have computers. They sell laptops. They have Bluetooth speakers. If you needed getting like a card for your Microsoft Word or PowerPoints, they also have those. So Campus Tech has everything. If you needed help with your computer, if you needed help with getting like your computer getting fixed or your laptop having an issue or screen problems, you can always go to them and they'll be able to help you. So that's why they're there. So instead of having to like leave campus to go to like Best Buy or something like that, you have like a Campus Tech on campus. So basically it has like different technologies that they sell to your convenience. So I just got a question that said, what is the maximum weight of luggage you can bring in? I know with international travels, you'd be allowed to have about 2 luggages and a small hand luggage, but it varies depending on the airline you're traveling with. So I recommend checking the airline you're traveling with, their website, to see what maximum weight you're allowed to have on you. Are double rooms still available? Unfortunately, not at this time due to the quarantine and social distancing measures. So we're putting students in townhouse styles or in a dormitory style that they don't have to share like the same like the same room, right? So it's available, but not at this time due to social distancing measures. So for students who will be required to quarantine on campus, the residents will be sending an email about how and where you'll be quarantining, what room you'll be in, and how things will be facilitated. That will be sent to you by residents. Do we need to mandatorily arrive in Thunder Bay on Thursday, or can we do a stopover? That depends on how, like the connectivity of your flights, the destination where you're traveling from. So you can definitely arrive in Thunder Bay, but you'll be required to quarantine, right? Solely your choice. So from the airport, I got a question that says, how would we reach campus from the airport? So from the airport, you can take a taxi, right? We can provide a pickup service for you that will take you either to the residence or to your, like either to your on-campus or off-campus residence. But there are loads of taxis that would help with that. So I see we have about 10 more minutes. So please feel free to send in your questions. How can we reach Thunder Bay from Toronto? So you can reach Thunder Bay from Toronto by flying or by taking a bus. So you can either have a connecting flight from Toronto that takes you directly to Thunder Bay. It's about an hour, 30 minutes flight, or you can take a bus from Toronto to Thunder Bay. I got a question that says, what are the maximum courses taken at a semester to graduate? So at the beginning of that's a very great question. At the beginning of the presentation, I just start off with the academic calendar, because that basically has everything that you're required to know in regards to your program. It has the list of courses you're required to register for your program. So it varies depending on the program you're in. So that's why I strongly recommend that all students familiarize themselves with the course calendar for their program, so they're able to know what courses they're required to register in for their program. But you should be aware that for all international students, undergraduate level, you're required to be registered in a minimum of 4.0 credit courses, right? So that means over the fall and winter semester. So courses that run from September to December will be 0.5, and courses that run from September to April will be 1.0. So that international students on the study permit, you want to ensure that you're registered in a full-time course load over the fall and winter term. So that can look like 4 courses in the fall, 4 courses in the winter, or that can look like 5 courses in the fall, 5 courses in the winter, or that can look like 5 full year long courses. So depending on what your requirements are for your program, it would differ. Please feel free to send in your questions. Please feel free to send in your questions if you have any. I will just be putting in the link below. Second. Let's just share with you the link to the academic calendar, and I'd also like to share with you the link to the pre-departure guide. So that's the link to the academic calendar, and here's the link to the pre-departure guide. I recommend that you familiarize yourself with all of those, and I'll also share a link with how to book an appointment with an advisor if you'd like to have an appointment, if you have any further questions. So that's the link to booking an appointment with an advisor. If you have any questions regarding, academic advice, general advising, any questions you may have, please feel free to use those to request an appointment with us. And please be aware that you have to have accepted your admissions offer. So for you to be able to book an appointment with us, you have to be an active student of Lakehead University. Okay. So we have a question, how can I do laundry during the quarantine period? So that would vary depending on whether or not you're living on or off campus. With off campus, you should have a laundry in your house or your apartment building. And with residents, there's definitely a laundry room in the residence building. So the building you'll be in will be like a quarantine building, so you'll be able to have access to doing laundry if you needed to. Yes, these links are provided, and that's why I've also put in the chat box. So please feel free to copy and paste the links I just put in the chat box for you. Please feel free to send in any questions you may have. We have 4 more minutes. Please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Lakehead University International, and Instagram, Lakehead International, on Twitter, Lakehead INTL, and on YouTube, where we put up all our videos, Lakehead University. So please ensure to follow all of our social media platforms so you can have access to all of our online programming, so you're up to date with everything that's going on virtually. Ensure to follow up all our social media platforms. And if you'd like to have a virtual tour of the campus, please visit lakeheadu.ca/tours, and you'll be able to have access to what it's like in Thunder Bay on campus, as well as Aurelia on campus. So please feel free to send in any other questions you may have. We have about 3 more minutes before the webinar ends. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you got some very useful information from this webinar. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please stay in touch. If you have any further questions or if anything else comes to mind, please feel free to send an email to internationaladvisor@lakeheadu.ca. If it's anything in regards to admissions or starting off at Lakehead University, please send an email to welcome@lakeheadu.ca or internationaladmissions@lakeheadu.ca. We're always here to support and to provide guidance, so please feel free to reach out whenever you need. Thank you very much for joining us again. The webinar will be coming to an end in 1 minute. Okay. Thank you for joining the webinar today, and have a great rest of your day. Please ensure to stay connected. We're always here, so please feel free to reach out if you need anything. Bye.